So here we are in the sunshine, the Leeds Ironman course preview, but the proper one. 3 months ago I was here in winter, now we're at the beginning of April, and I want to just give you this backdrop. Chosen the right day. You're going to go through the swim course, the actual swim course, which I pretty much got bang on right, swim exits, transition, and most importantly the 50 odd K loop on the bike. Some technical tips, some advice around actually what to do, what not to do, and the run course, which I promise you finishes over here. It's going to test all of us. So here we are on the pontoon. It's very shallow over here, I believe, from speaking to the guys. So you'll be able to get in the water more than likely and stand there. It's pretty swampy. Looking at the course maps and the turnaround buoys and the swim exits, it looks like the swim entry is going to be pretty much down on this side of the pontoon, where you're going to go straight out east into the sun. This is quite a critical point because at 6:30 in the morning in late summer, you're going to have the sun straight into your eyes. So goggles are going to be a crucial point there. My preferred choice is a nice Tri-Fit Rapid X goggle with some anti-glare iridium. Into the water here, we're going to be swimming in that direction east upwards, but before that they're going to have a struggle to get 2,500 athletes congregating in this area. So I assume this is going to be probably the starting pen here behind me, because this is too narrow and the swim exit's going to be on that direction. So swim buoy is going to be more or less where these lovely swans are, a little bit further out for your second loop. Morning guys. It's pretty deep in the middle, so the water temperature will be more than likely much colder that way. So we're in the top corner now of the first part of the swim, about 250 meters in. The first turnaround is going to be a little bit of a bun fight because it's still quite close to the start. Alright, we're in the thick of it now. You've gone the 250 mark on the first part of your swim. You've got another turnaround right here. This is going to be the tricky part, the first 5 minutes of your swim, and then we're straight into, if there's a wind like today, straight into the headwind, and this is the long stretch. The great news is, look at this area for spectating. It's going to be a noise fest with people walking, lining the side of the swim. You can see down there, that's exactly where we started from, the clubhouse. So by here things will be stringing out, but now you've got a really long stretch to really get your head down. And sighting is going to be tricky. You would have had the sun in your eyes for the first 5-6 minutes, and now you've got not a straight linear line of the lovely Waterloo Lake, which is very deep in the middle, which means it could be potentially very cold as well. So we're going to go to the top end now and show you what it looks like from the other side. I wanted to stop on this corner halfway up the long leg. You've done your second turn at about 250. Now it's not a straight line. This lake is funny contours and you're going to have to swim alongside the side wall, but it's really shallow here. You can see here there's about a half meter depth. 5 meters in is where you're going to want to be. You can see the current from the wind if it's blowing, but it's actually really tricky to navigate your sighting. I'd really practice your open water sighting. Luckily the sun's not going to be in your eyes here, but just bear in mind, you can see on the picture on the swim diagram that the whole lake is not straight. So if you've made it this far, which hopefully you have, guys and girls, we're about 1 kilometer into the swim. We're at the top end of the lake, and as I said a few minutes ago, everything is quite curvy, so the straight line is going to be really difficult to sight. But your turnaround is going to be somewhere around here with Mr. Swan here. Bolt across, short little 50-meter stint, and then you've got to hit to your 1 mile mark, which is 1.6 k's, a little bit further down there. Then when you come here, it's going to be pretty narrow, and the swim exit is going to be an interesting point because we've got to get up these lovely stairs. Let me show you. So onto your second loop, you're going to come back in here, not going to go around that buoy, and it looks like this area here is going to be your swim exit with a fake pontoon. They're going to build you up so you can be hauled out and go straight up these lovely stairs for your 400 meter run that we will show you now. Straight up the stairs out of the swim, and you've got your nice 350 meter run that I'm going to show you uphill. Well, Ironman have certainly chosen a lovely long transition, which we love in this part of the world, because from the water down there you can see in the far corner it's a good 2-minute jog, maybe a bit quicker for some of the faster triathletes. But you've got to really watch your feet. You're coming up more than likely barefoot in some tarmac. If it's wet, you potentially could slip and slide around here. The whole reason why they brought you up here, as you can see on my left, is the lovely cricket pitch. So we've got a long run all the way up here to the top. It's more than likely going to be on this side of the clubhouse, according to the map. Dropping down into a lovely flat area, and that's what they're after. Enough space to put 2,500 bikes, and the exit is going to be on the other side of the cricket pitch. Now, we get a lot of rain in the north of England in summer, and this potentially could be a bit of a flood bath. Hopefully they've thought about that going forward. They often put carpets down. I feel sorry for the cricket pitch itself. X is going to be there on that little bike path, so you're not going to have an issue through here. What I'd prepare for is getting your wetsuit halfway down, immediately up from swim exit. It's something you need to practice. Goggles on the hat. Don't try and hold the goggles and then pull your wetsuit off at the same time. So goggles on the head, wetsuit halfway down to your waist when you're running up. There's going to be change facilities here. They call it nude changing facilities, so don't whip your kid off inside transition. It's a frowned upon thing in this country, and certainly in America. Once you've got that, you can do your change, everything through there, all in one. More than likely your bike shoes will be on your bike or in your blue bag. Some races are different where they allow you to leave the helmet. Some races in different countries want you to all on the bike blue bag. So that's fairly minor details. You know about that the day before. It's going to be a long transition, 4 to 5 minutes, so your times are going to be slow this course. I wouldn't really worry about how long your total time is going to be. The most important thing is not getting your heart rate in the red when you come out of the water, because from lying down to standing up and then trying to run, you go quite anaerobic. So give the blood time to get from the upper body into the legs and do the long run up. As you can see, straight out of your swim exit, you've got the first minute straight up an incline. Now, guys and girls, that's going to send your heart rate through the roof. So this is a key point in your knowledge of the course. If you live locally, you'll probably come and suss it out, but people coming from far, you want to know how long that is. It's probably going to take you a minute and 15 to start running up the hill, which then gets you to the cricket pitch where T1 is. So we're onto the bike course now, and you're wondering why I'm standing on some sort of bridge, cycle path, crossing a ring road. We're a few kilometers out of Leeds, round Hay. I thought it'd be worth stopping here. The GPX file will confuse you because it confuses us. But it looks like for some reason we have to come off the main road, the ring road, to come up on this beautiful bike path off here, which swoops around the back of me, up and over. Now that's all fair and well because this is concrete, but on the other side there's some gravel, so follow me. Okay, we've come over the bridge on the bike. You're not going to be allowed to go on the tri-bars here, for example, and then we're doing a swooping little chicane S-bend, which then on the far side here links up to that gravel which is down there, and then there's another sharp right into the lane, and that is going to be treacherous, let alone punches, let alone sliding. We have no idea why this is in, and I'm going to find out why. So this big right hand turn here onto Windmore Lane is going to be pretty sketchy as well. 90-degree turn. Hopefully no cars like this coming on a closed road, but best advice is to try and come wide here, not like how I took it, because you're going to be turning sharp onto a road that's hopefully closed, but you've got residents, and yeah, back onto the tarmac off the Perry-Roubaix. We're on Car Lane, double R, towards our destination Thorner. It's quite early in the loop, and I wanted to stop here off my bike because where I'm standing here is the white line. You would normally attack, if you're coming from this side, attack the corner through the apex, but if you do that you'll come off your bike. You can see why. It'll absolutely catapult these potholes. They're not going to fill them before July. We're in Yorkshire. So your middle of the road, middle of the lane is going to be where you want to be. So we've had a great little stint since Shadwell, since we've left Roundhay Park. We're about the 10-mile mark now, 16 kilometers into the bike ride. We haven't yet hit the first aid station, but most of the road has been pretty much rolling, nothing steep. There was one sketchy corner on Car Lane, which I showed you, and now there's just a lot of speed here. This is the time you want to get the fuel in, make sure you're staying hydrated, and enjoy this before you have to really work hard with the hills coming up towards Harewood and Black Hill. We've got a nice long downhill here. Your speed is going to go up, which is fantastic. Really get into some aero tuck around here to try and maximize your free gains. This is a great time for your heart rate to drop and actually just get some recovery going before the main part of the course, which is really going to challenge most people. The biggest concern really is the road surface. So along here it's fine, with typical northern roads where there's some sketchy sort of potholes and so forth, and now we are just about to go up a little climb after that downhill. So you can see how you get lulled into a false sense of security where you think you're flying, and this is when you misjudge pacing and also misjudge fueling. You've really got to stay on top of it every 20 minutes. Here you've got a nice little climb, it's easy to go over 350 watts, and you just got to tap back and really slow down and respect the course, because this adds up. Even you can hear the cars having to struggle. It's not super steep, but it's just enough to put a sting in the tail. So remember, we're only 16 k's in to our journey. Okay, so that was a short little minute where we had to climb a little bit. Road surface is quite fast, so you could probably stay in the big chain ring there for most people. And then we have a sharp 90-degree left. Look behind me, pedal goes up, apex of the corner, watch the gravel over there, and you're bombing down. We've just done that 90-degree left turner onto Thorner Lane. It's actually beautiful and quiet down here, quite a contrast to leaving the city centre and busy Roundhay Park, which to be honest is not my favourite place to ride. Like I mentioned in my first video, I added quite a bit in around accommodation. You can refer back to that. I'll add some snippets in. But just a few kilometres out of the city, you've got beautiful roads and quiet lanes. And this is what they're really trying to capture in Yorkshire. You can see the roads here on the left. You want to stay out of that gutter. There's some ditches there. Always just, I think, aim for the middle of the lane. You're pretty safe. The problem is you're going to get the fast guys passing you on the right hand side, which is fine. They're not allowed to go over the white line. So generally stick left as well to give people, you know, space to pass you respectively. Remember, fueling key. You'll have your fuel strategy dialed in. 60 to 90 grams of carbs is a great place to start, and drink to thirst. The hydration on the course is fantastic with precision hydration, and you've got your Morton fueling, but I always suggest a variation to help you get your fuel needs. And remember, the weather dictates how much to drink, and no one can really tell you exactly how much to drink, but you would have tried it in training and done some hydration testing where you know how much fluid you lose. So let's get at it. All right, beautiful downhill coming up. Let's get some speed. I'm on my road bike today. Most of you will do it on a road bike. A lot of first timers. You've probably chosen the right type of bike
for this undulating hilly course. 2,000 meters of climbing, probably a little bit more, depending which map you look at. Still to be confirmed, because the course map says 1,900 meters. The website says 2,700. Have no idea, but it's definitely going to be 2,000 mark. Okay, on a dry day, you're looking good on this road surface. On a wet day, which is highly possible in England on the end of July, you're going to be challenged with breaks, slipping and sliding. But looking around and seeing the scenery, it really helps. It's just a quiet country roads, and if you're used to racing in Europe on fast, smooth roads, you're in for a bit of a shock, boys and girls. This is true northern roads. Being a South African, living up here for the last 13 years, I've got quite conditioned to it, and I use my wide tires quite often because the roads are pretty savage. Often gravel on the side of the road, but all in all, as long as you keep your eyes peeled, and the Brownlees can train here pretty religiously all year round, they're quite used to it. But be prepared with your spares and punctures, and be prepared for all eventualities, guys, because you think there's support and aid on the course, you'll lose nutrition. We haven't even hit the first aid station, and this section might take up to an hour for a lot of people to get to, especially if you drop a bottle.
I wanted to stop on this point of the course because we're on our way to North Rigton, 25 k's into the ride. We're going down this descent here. If this road is wet, it's going to be an ice rink. There's some blind corners. It's a 1 in 5 descent, guys. So watch it, because when you come around this corner, yeah, these lights will obviously be open at the time, but you've got a bit of a launch pad here where those cars are now. You will literally catch air. So make sure you've got disc brakes. Okay, so here we are at the 20% climb, Black Hill. It's been talked about to death, and today we're going to ride it. That first corner I just took, that's the first thing you need to watch. A nice big pothole, there's gravel on the road, it's a 90-degree turn, straight into a gradual build up, and then 20% at the peak. Let's go.
Okay, Black Hill, lap 1 of 3. It starts off with a nice false economy, lures you in, and then you are saying, oh, this is not that bad. So you pick up the power. You start to go above your threshold power because your heart rate's still low. First mistake. Okay, so I'm going to ride this at Ironman pace. Moderate to hard. I'm not going to give you power numbers because everyone's power is different. Road surface is quite nice now. You saw the corner. Now you get into rhythm and you are not that worried about it. Gentle climb to start with. Remember, it peaks at 20%. Pretty brutal by the time you get up on the third lap. It seems to be busy today with cars. On the day, it should be fine. We're approaching the first corner now. This is when the fun starts, because the road surface suddenly changes into exactly what it is. A dodgy farm road that they've thrown in to give you some Brownlee fun. Okay, so you can switch down to your small chainring now. If you're on a road bike, you're going to be thanking yourself. It's still pretty mellow here. And now you look up from where I can see, and there's the road holes. Okay, so your heart rate will have caught up now. You're 90 seconds in, 2 minutes. VO2 kinetics. So there's no point pushing a high power. You want to get into quite a nice light gear, and you probably want to have be able to have a conversation like I am, and then you know you're holding back. The crowds are going to be going pretty fanatical over here. It's now starting to get steep. The cars are going to get backed up behind me, and I'm in my easy gear. I'm holding back. My power will probably be around threshold now and a little bit over. My heart rate is still under threshold. Okay, you do not want to be going, if you can help it, over threshold heart rate here. We are now on the 20% part of the climb, and you can hear my breathing starts to get shallower. I'm holding back. You have to go fairly hard in terms of your torque on the pedals, but I'm not trying to burn my legs. That's critical. I'm now standing in my easy gear, and you can see the gradient. This is steep. You want to just stay on top of the gear. I've got a nice small chainring currently on this bike, so I'm really thanking it. If you're on a one bar to front, the top age groupers, you're going to regret it, even if you near the front. Look at these holes in the road. You want to be able to conserve muscle glycogen. You can't drink and eat. It's hands on the bars, and it's just keeping your heart rate under control. We're 4 minutes in. We're over halfway. I'm not going super hard, but I'm definitely putting some effort in. So I would call it a moderate to hard effort. I'm just around threshold power as an average. So don't worry, because we train above threshold at least once a week, and that condition you'll have from loads of heel repeats in the last 12 weeks of your course training. Now we come to the main part. 5 minutes in, and I'm looking up, trying to keep my upper body still. Your core really needs to stay strong, so do some core training. Try to think about your pedal stroke. At the bottom of the pedal stroke, really wipe the mud off the soles of your feet. That sensation of full hamstring activation, pushing, pulling. Stand if you want. If you do, click down one gear, and you see I'm just using my body weight to swing the bike between my legs. My breathing rate's high. I know I've got 2 minutes left. So remember, this is the first lap. It's going to feel okay, and you're going to say, this is not that bad. Didn't I say that in the beginning? The support here will be mental. There's a lay-by here on my right, a farm just over here, and that'll be full of people. Allez, 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 allez. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Woo! No, let's not go, because you can hear my breathing now. Okay, the legs are burning, because anyone's got 5 minutes in their legs to be able to maintain. This is the steepest part of the course. Still can have a broken conversation, and we're cresting, and we're at 6 minutes 45. I probably average 250 to 270 watts, so not super hard for my body weight, and we're over the top. The key is to keep pushing over the crest here, get straight down into aero. Don't waste time. Get your speed back up. Everyone slows down at the top and goes, oh, that's great. No, head down, drop in the bars, elbows tucked, big gear, and push. Okay. Black Hill. It was fine. 7 minutes taking it moderate to hard. 8.5 taking it very easy. Times 3. Train yourself up to do 3 lots of 10-minute hill climbs in one go. You'll be great. All right, end of lap 3. The great news is you're on the way back to T2. I cannot believe they're taking us back on the same gravel. Instead of doing the 90-degree right, we've obviously got to do the 90-degree left, back up this gravel course. So get your cross tires on, we're going. Right, we've just spent 180 k's riding in the Yorkshire Dales and surrounding areas of Leeds, and now we're leaving T2 ready to tackle lap 1 of the 10-11k loop. So stick around, I'm going to walk you through the key points, the uphills, the downhills, a little bit about body position, some key points, and hopefully I can get round 1 lap all in one piece to share with you some interesting coaching points. Cool, so the park run on a Saturday morning uses this hill 3 times. So if you don't live too far away, come do the Saturday morning park run. This is in the first part of, straight out of T2, in the first 300-400 meters. You straight up about an 8 to 10% climb. This is quite savage. Pacing is going to be crucial, and keeping a lid on your heart rate. All right, so we're inside the first kilometer, and immediately on a day like this, you just can't help smiling and enjoying it. We're going on around the upper lake. Hey guys. And we're back onto the flat now, thankfully, after that 300-400 meters of climbing straight out of T2. You still want to keep a lid on it. The golden rule in the first 10 Ks of running any Ironman marathon is if you're going too quick, it always bites at about 30 Ks. Keep a lid on your heart rate and really listen to your body. Pacing is going to be key. All right, that was the calm, and now we straight up this bad boy. So you can see I'm having to slow down my stride, and the best thing is to get onto the tiptoes, guys, because if you're trying to stride it out up here, you've got to swing these arms. If you don't pump your arms, you're never going to get that torso moving. So hold back the effort, because if you go into the red here, you're absolutely going to pay for it. It's quite a long section, take about 90 seconds, and it's pretty steep, I'm telling you now. Past this lovely mansion house tea room, which you're so close to the finish line, you can actually bail out, and you might want to. All right, so after you've gone around that Grange house, mansion house, tea room, and you wanted to bail out because you've seen the finish line for the 5th time, you're back onto this park run course, which, guys wearing carbon shoes like I am right now, you've got a camber, right? Now, I would not run on this side of the camber. I'd be on the top level here, because it might not feel like anything, but after a couple of hours, a camber like that will absolutely smash your legs. So we've just come out of the park for the first literally kilometer, and immediately you're into a bit of the high heart rate, questioning yourself about, can you actually finish this? Now we're going to head out onto the not so scenic part of Leeds run course. It's new to me, going through some suburbs, but then we know we're going to loop back into this beautiful green where the spectators are going to be thick and your family's going to be there. So stick around and we'll show you some key points. All right, so we've come out of the park. As you can see, we're in the nice main road, side road, suburbs, and you get a little respite. We're on the flat, waving at some locals going, I'm glad that's not me. So this is time you use now to settle in, because you've done about a K and a half and your legs are burning. So You shake the arms out, you hold back. You can feel your quads. I always say a good rule for my athletes, find your legs in the first 5Ks. Do not force that, because it takes about 8Ks to find your legs. What I mean by that is they'll feel thick and heavy. So use the section that's 400 meters long to just relax. It's still early days. Oh, so now you've got an actual breather. You're on some nice, good tarmac for the first time all day after that horrendous bike ride. You're questioning yourself, but now you're absorbing the course. You're like, okay, I'm in now. You got a slight downhill here, which gives your legs a little breather. And with these carbon shoes and tired legs, they really help triathletes because we're very quad dominant on a bike. So try relax into that. And unfortunately, that only lasted for 4 or 5 minutes, because immediately we're crossing here and it's back up a false flat 1 or 2%. So, you know, you're gonna have some local resistance. Again, you've got camber. Look at this camber now. So it's gonna shove you to the right hand side of the road, but we're going left. So the shortest line is here, guys. I know you're not trying to win the thing, but why do you want to run extra meters over 42 kilometers? Okay, we had 2-3 minutes there, which is pretty rubbish, if I'm honest, on the main road. But you have to connect these roads. We're now on a beautiful 1 kilometer stretch with a little bit of shade. Watch these side roads, they'll be closed, but it's slightly downhill. Hey, 1-2%. You can just let your run legs flow. We're not even halfway through the first lap. Can you believe it? You can hear my breathing. It's constantly changing, up, down, lots going on. Once you get through that mental section, through the main road with Jack's Barber and a couple of coffee shops, which you probably want to dive in for a double espresso, you get this to breathe. No car fumes, wave to the kids, hallelujah. And basically, okay, we're now getting some more downhill action to counteract what we just did. So first lap advice, first lap advice, especially with these carbons on, you're going to want to run this quick, because you were running 5:30 Ks there. This is going to be 4:15s through the trees, but you're going to pay for it on lap 2. 4-lap run, hold back. If you feel good, hold back.
So we're on the drive, which is a long road, which is slightly flat and downhill. The reason why I bring this up, it's your second aid station, just over 4 kilometers. I work in Ks. The map will say miles. You're going to have Morton as fuel, and most importantly, you're going to have, finally, in the second year now, precision hydration in pH 1000 electrolyte drink.
We're 4 or 5 Ks in now, straight down the suburbs, but you can see a nice downhill, and it's a nice respite from all the beginning uphills. Now we've got a sharp left, Ligette walk, and there'll be some good spectators here because you're very close to the park again. Bit of an S-bend onto Thorn Lane. You can see I'm using the main road to try and find the shortest line amongst the cars, but we're still very much on some good smooth tarmac. Key is to keep your cadence up. Keep holding back on lap 1. You're approaching another aid station fairly soon after the 4 mile mark. I've stopped here at the Brandhays School, 6.5 Ks in, little breather. There's going to be aid station 3, okay? I'm not going inside, it's a small little loop around. They're going to have volunteers there. It's a weekday, school kids around. Pretty much, you're going to have Morton, electrolytes, and probably some bananas, and of course, water and cola. Key point to get the calories in pretty much every 20 minutes, and I'm telling you now, and I'll reiterate this later, this course is heart rate based, throw pace out the window, you have to keep a lid on it. We've just come out of aid station 3, 6.5 k's in, and you're straight into this long false flat. It's relentless. Approaching 3/4 of the way through lap 1, and you've got to run up this as well. It doesn't feel like a hill, but that is a long drag, and your legs will start to feel it now. Okay, this is a great opportunity to talk about leg speed. If you're a good runner, you will position your body so your center of mass is slightly over your footfall. If you're leaning back like this and running with the heels forward, you are not going to be efficient. Your economy goes down. Use the downhill to let the legs go. And you can almost see my arms just going with it. Downhill runners do this really well. Proper fell runners. There's a cost to this though. The quads take a beating. So train your downhills. 7 k's in now, 7.5. You've just come down that downhill I spoke about, and it's back up 5-10% climb. And you thought that was over. It goes round the corner for 200-300 meters, guys. You've got to have to slow down, shorten the stride, good form, swing the elbows onto the toes. Moments away from the finish line, the first lap. We've gone past the bowling club. You can hear the finish line. You're tired. We've come down Princess Avenue, which is downhill. So you get a nice little few minutes to gather your thoughts, turn your bib around, put your sunglasses on your hat, and get ready to soak up Ironman Leeds finish line in the glorious sunshine. Watch the camber while your legs are tired, run on the top part of the road. Okay, so if you're on to lap 2, which I'm not doing today, you'll be going left here at the tea rooms. You can smell the finish line. You've got to go around, wave to people, and you start your lap 2. But I'm heading down to the inaugural Leeds Ironman finish line. And if I'm correct in my map reading, we've got the finish line downhill with a lovely mansion house behind us. And this is when you soak up. This is when it's all worth it. Your legs are shot, but you don't care. You start crying. Here we go. We know the finish line is just by the cricket pavilion, moments away. And here we go, slight downhill finish. Look at that backdrop. And you have crossed the line.